this because if you've ever had a cousin that you loan money to, and realized that once they got your money, their behavior shifted. Anybody ever notice that? Like they start getting a little attitude when you start asking for your money back. Before they were real humble. Before they were like, "Hey, cuz, hey, can I just really need your help. I'm really going through it right now. Can you?" So you felt bad and whatever. So you gave them your last $1,000, and then like 2 weeks later, when they're supposed to pay you, they suddenly have an attitude, right? I'm sure everybody's anybody gone through that? Give me a yes if you've gone through that, right? If you've gone through something like that, where you've seen someone's behavior patterns change and their attitude change because they suddenly have possession of something that you used to control, that's called moral. That's one aspect of moral hazard. It's a shift in power that occurs when you do a transaction with a person. So the solution to the moral hazard problem is what they call optimal contracting, which we can talk about that later. But the point of the matter is to say the moral hazard also means that you have to do due diligence before you make an investment. So what they recommend to the banks is before you loan money, do what banks do, which is take your time. Don't rush into stuff. Make sure you check around every little corner, look for every roach under the closet, in the closet or whatever, to make sure you don't get any surprises because you're dealing with asymmetric information, meaning you don't know everything that's happening. You don't know the future. You don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. Right now, one of the biggest threats in the economy is a lot of debt that's kept off the balance sheets of companies, like debt that Jamie Dimon described them literally. I think he said as roaches crawling out from under the refrigerator, where literally you don't know that they have this other risk factor there that you're not aware of. So moral hazard invokes all of this, right? And meaning that. So here's the thing. Let me explain it like this. So with this Michigan coach, his moral hazard problem is you see this cute little assistant next to you who's flirting with you or whatever, and maybe because you're 40 and you're having a midlife crisis or something, and she's 28 years old and you're flattered that this 28-year-old wants to sleep with you, then you get all into this and get excited, and so you sleep with her. Well, right there, what you've done is you've opened a can of worms. You shifted the balance of power. Before, when you kept your distance, when you made sure that you weren't alone with her, that there was no track record of you misbehaving, you had all the power. You were the head coach. You were the boss. You were the leader. You could fire her. It was all your discretion. Now that you slept with her, you've given her a lot of power. You can't just fire her now. You think you're the boss, but really she's the boss. She's running the show now. Well, why is that? Well, because now, and this is what happened with the Michigan coach. I think this is a really great financial lesson and a great opportunity to talk about moral hazard. So what happens is that when he suddenly realizes, oh my God, I slept with this girl, it could jeopardize everything that I have. His friends are saying, hey, you need to get rid of her, or move her to another department or whatever. And so he does that. He's trying to, fix things after the fact. And I always told you that the best way to solve a problem is to do what? What's the best way to solve a problem? Anybody know? Raise your hand if you know what it means what the best way is to solve a problem. The best way to solve a problem is to not create the problem. The best way to solve the problem is to prevent the problem, right? So you're trying to solve a problem that could have been prevented if you simply realized that you could go sleep with somebody off campus. I'm not even telling you to go sleep with your wife. That's up to you. That's an ethical decision that you have to make. But still, like whatever, right? Because you don't know.